In 1941, 2 years after World War II began with Hitler's invasion of Poland, Nazi murder squads occupied towns like Ilya and created ghettos for the Jews all over Eastern Europe. The Nazis then embarked on the systematic murder of Jews in a program of ghetto clearances called Actions.
So where are we now? This is the...
This is the center of Ilya.
Uh-huh.
It used to be a market square before the war.
Mm-hmm.
And all the Jews were collected here in the market square. They were driven out of their houses, out of their homes in March 1942. And this is the place where the selection took place.
Selection?
Selection. I've got evidence translated into English, so you can have a look. And
As soon as the Nazis arrived in Ilya, they showed extreme cruelty toward the Jewish population. They soon started going from home to home, searching for every man, woman, and child. They removed them from their homes and forced them to run to the designated central locations in the market. That's where we are.
yeah.
During the Soviet time, they had established a huge freezer for fruit and meat products, and next to it was a deep hole in the ground to store the ice. This ice storage area was used that day for the mass burial of 900 Jews from Ilya, men, women, children, and babies alike. All the Jews selected to be killed in the market were taken to this site. On both sides of the entrance stood SS men armed with machine guns. As soon as the people arrived, they were ordered to remove their clothes and run inside, where they were shot from all sides and fell directly onto the frozen pit. This was the last walk of most of the Jews of our town on this day of slaughter. The murderers then poured oil onto the walls of the building and set it on fire. The local Christian population later told us that for many hours they could hear from afar the screams and anguished cries of the wounded who did not die from the bullets. Thus ended Ilya, a Jewish community with centuries of a glorious history. Huh.
Был вообще у другой вёски, у героя деревни, до его их шли.
So the Jews were marched along this street
Когда мы тут другие были,
from the
а
market.
эта страна.
He remembers exactly that they were walking along the street. So we are going exactly the same way, the same
Уже было
path.
близко.
And we are very close now to the place. So you see, this place is a bit higher than the rest of the area.
Yeah.
And that shed was standing right here.
Uh-huh.
Так.
Jews were driven to this place, shot here and buried. They were made to approach the edge of that pit in small groups, 2 or 3 people. And they were shot and fell down into the cellar, and then the next 2 or 3,
Oh.
and then the next, and the next.
Oh. How do you prepare for the last moment of your life, knowing what's coming? You watch the people before you and know that's your fate while you're naked and humiliated and waiting for your turn to get shot. But those poor parents with their children, or, you know, my great-grandmother, if she had grandchildren around, that's what is so hard. I get so angry when I start thinking about the children I mean, these people were no threat. They were nothing. It's just the ravings of a madman who decided that Jews didn't fit into the way he saw the human race. That's what fear can whip people into. You make people afraid enough of something completely manufactured, and you can drive them to become murderers, cold-blooded murderers. I'm glad that I got to see, witness, acknowledge what happened to my family here and pay my respects at their final resting place. I am glad that I got to do that. And that moment is worthwhile. Okay.